Hi, welcome to Podcast Heroes, Week 6. Pretty exciting.
Episode 6!
Episode 6.
Yes.
We're your hosts, Billy.
Bentley.
Aaron.
And we got guest host Tommy this week. Tommy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Tommy. I'm a friend of Aaron's from college, and I've been playing LoL for the past 3 years. Started watching Grubby, a pretty prominent hot streamer on Twitch, and fell in love with the game, bought it that day, and been playing it since January.
Excellent. So, we're all pretty, experienced here, at least starting since the beta, except me. I started in March.
Yeah, it sounds like you started around when I did, when we were able to buy the game for the first time and actually play the game instead of watching someone play.
And then Aaron's been here since
the alpha. I got it at PAX really early on, and I forgot that I had the game, and then started playing it again towards the end of alpha, and it seems like all my friend group lags behind a generation on games. Like, I was playing League really intensely, and then like 2 years later they all started playing League really intensely, and now I'm playing Heroes. So I just got to get them all over here.
So you're just a hipster.
So you're the
Nova.
hipster of
There you
video
go.
Yeah.
games.
There you go.
Is that what you're trying to get at?
I love all video games equally, and it is my mission to have played them all.
What a hipster thing to say.
You're so weird. Well, we got some pretty exciting news this week. Of course, the big one being yesterday, the game launched.
Hey!
She's
woo!
out.
Everyone can
Finally.
play. Go download it.
And for
For
free.
free.
Yeah, that's the caveat there. Everybody can play this game for free now. Don't have to spend any money like I think all four of us did.
And now I'm going to start
Yeah.
being one of those really jerky people who says, sir, it's not a game. This is an electronic sport.
I can see you saying that too, which is the scarier part of all of that. Of course, with the launch came the launch event that Blizzard did, I guess, 2 days ago on the 1st. They did a big hype for this huge launch event they were hosting in London. Tell us about it. What did you guys think?
Yeah, it was a huge hype. I did not watch it. I saw the Twitter stream kind of blow up. They were anticipating a lot of things, but I didn't see a lot of things come out of it.
People said that it was too short.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of just blew by. I was like, oh, the launch started, and then I'm like, oh, it's already over. So.
But it was in London, and I wasn't going to be able to be there, so who really cares? What I cared about is the free stuff, and they delivered. I'm happy with the free stuff that I'm getting.
Well, let's talk about the big free thing that they're doing right now, the mount. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about that. I know you sent out like a message in our Facebook group talking about it.
Geez, which
specifically.
mount?
You know which the Mecha Strider or whatever.
Sure.
The Mecha Strider. Go for it.
There's a few mounts actually that you can get. The Hearthstone card, the Warlords of Draenor mount launched. It is really cool. If you have a level 100 World of Warcraft character, you get this. I really should know. It's a cool wolf mount, and it's an armored wolf, just like you ride around once you're level 100. It's really cool. But what you're talking about is the Mecha Strider. And it's a spider mech mount, and it's really cool. It's got some good colors. If you want one, all you have to do is head over to the Podcast Heroes page or the Blizzard
The Facebook page.
The Facebook page. And we posted a link to where you go. You just plug in 5 Facebook friends to be your perfect team league. And then you assign them some traits. Like, I think I assigned Billy, like, ringleader and vengeful or something. I actually had Billy on there twice.
Because I have 2 Facebooks right now, which is a completely different discussion we should
Wow.
not get into since I'm very angry about it.
Okay.
But regardless, Facebook should let me have whatever name I want. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But what else happened? Okay, so we talked about the Hearthstone card before in a previous podcast. Just 100 wins in Hearthstone, you get a Hearthstone card mount. There's a Warlords of Draenor mount. Reach level 100 in World of Warcraft. What else? Is there anything for StarCraft, or did they leave Diablo off the table too? Or
StarCraft and Diablo, I didn't see anything. They're
Yeah, I
not
didn't.
really the type of systems that would normally. I
Yeah.
don't know if they have content creation teams still.
It's kind of sad because I'm a Diablo player, and the content, that they're not using Diablo is kind of sad.
It's just a different type of game.
Yeah, and I thought Joanna, I was going through the heroes, and I thought Joanna was going to be a support, because there's no Diablo supports in this, fact. There's, 3 heroes, warriors, but there's no support, and I thought she was gonna maybe be the one. Speaking of which,
yeah. So let's talk about Johanna for a little bit. Thank you, Bentley, for that
there you
transition
go.
there.
There you go.
Johanna
Yes.
released. I was really excited about her. I couldn't wait for her to come out. I even saved up enough gold for her because I'm still on that path of I'm going to spend no dollars on this game, and I'm still there. I'm loving Johanna so far.
I'm still mad at you for having spent no dollars on this game.
Yeah, you're jealous, aren't you?
No, I think that you need to invest. We like this company.
Oh, I mean, I spent 10 years playing World of Warcraft. They
That's
got enough
true.
investment
That's
out
true.
of
They've
me.
got
True.
Yeah.
I gave them like a $10,000 check.
Exactly, basically. All right, so let's talk about Johanna real quick. I know next week we're probably going to talk about a specific build for her, but let's just hype her up a little bit. Let's talk about her real briefly. A pretty cool kit. I personally really like her kit. It reminds me a lot of a control support, and that's some of the confusion I'm getting from her and from Blizzard here. It seems like the only time they want to release a support is if it's somebody who can heal. Tassadar is the only support that doesn't do that, and I think he can have a talent that makes his shield heal whoever he puts it on anyways. So what do you guys think? Do you think Blizzard's like doing this intentionally? Are they just missing a golden opportunity here? What's your guys' thoughts?
I think the reasoning that they have been putting so much emphasis on healing is because healing is strong. And we saw that with things like the Lily buff, or the Lily bug, where her Cloud Serpent was overhealing, and you could see how one person could literally never die. And healing is really strong. But I think you pointed out to me at one point this week that there should be more non-healer supports, and that's exactly what they delivered this week.
Well, and when I hear support, my imagination doesn't immediately go to somebody who heals. It goes to somebody who assists the team in winning team fights.
We talked about how even Stitches is a support because so many of his abilities are support oriented.
They're about CC. They're about being able to keep himself alive and keep himself in the fight.
Utility in general.
Utility.
Create
exactly.
opportunities.
Yeah, and Johanna is very similar to that, but they classified her as a warrior.
Yeah, extremely surprising. And
I'm not much a fan of that, but then again, I really can't complain that much because really, what's my complaint in the end about what they classify a hero? It'd just be interesting to see how they progress further if they keep the support category specifically to relatively squishy champions, with the exception of maybe Uther, that have heals. And really, how much further are they going to be able to carry that? Because I'm trying to think of more Blizzard characters in all the Blizzard games that I've played that would fit that category. Or are we just going to be capped at the 8 support heroes that we have now?
Are you saying that Johanna is a warrior?
She's classified as a warrior in
not
the game.
a support?
Not a support.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's news to me.
Yeah, which is
weird. Was that a change or was that?
No, that's how she was released.
I swore
because they never
was a support release.
They never said anything about what she would be classified as when they were hyping her. It just I think it was a good assumption from her kit what she has, because all 3 of her abilities, basic abilities, bring some form of utility to the fight. Because they don't have as much damage, they bring a form of utility. Her Q is a good slow. Her W is a suck in. I don't trying to think of the right word. Essentially a stun, and then her E is a blind. And then her 2 ultimates either stun or knock up.
Yeah.
So it really felt like she was going to be a support, but she's classified as a warrior, and that's what intrigues me about their classification system.
Yeah, I was almost expecting like a buff skill for her, and I know we were showing a lot of her skills actually when Kael'thas was out. But in Diablo, where she's from, she has a lot of buff skills in that game, and I thought that she was going to be some kind of support, but I guess not. I guess
she can buff other people.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like she might have an aura for
because
armor
she's
something.
a crusader, so you're thinking like paladin, tanky, almost healer, armor, stuff like that.
And that's what my assumption was going to be too, that she was going to act like a paladin in this game,
like
or something,
almost Uther, like a girl Uther.
Yeah, exactly. Just be a little more tanky, a little more CC instead of the heals that Uther brings to the fight. So it'll be interesting to see how Blizzard, in the future approaches heroes, if they're going to keep supports very specific or if they're going to branch out a little bit more into the different kinds of support. All right, so let's talk about the other really big exciting news, though, with the launch event. And that, to me, is the Stim Pack. The Stim Pack, I think, is the greatest item you can buy in the game if you're leveling up. Of course, if you're level 40, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But, Aaron, what's the news following the Stim Pack here?
Well, first, it's not pointless because if you're trying to get master skins,
You get gold.
you get a lot more gold, like significant. So it can be worth it if you're trying to save up. June 2nd through June 9th, you get 50% off one Stim Pack, one 30-day Stim Pack. Once you purchase it, the rest of them go back to full price. It's worth it.
30 days.
Particularly if you're new, snag it.
Yeah, those Stim Packs are amazing. I mean, I used one and I got up almost to level 40 just using that in a week, I feel. And I was, playing a lot, but still, it's very effective. And it's very cost efficient, too. I know, like, the 7-day Stim Pack's $4, I believe, so that would make the 30-day, like, $12 or something like that.
I think it's $9.99.
$9.99.
Wow.
Before the 50% or?
Before.
Before, so
Wow.
now it's like, what, $5?
Yeah, I'm going to get that.
That's crazy.
There you go. So
They're really pushing people to binge this game.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that they're going to be able to say, like, next month after the first month of the game, hey, look how much money we made.
right.
From Stim Packs.
Just from Stim Packs alone.
Uh-huh.
I'm tempted to buy one myself, so...
I mean, why not? This week.
There you go.
Always need more heroes.
There you go.
Did we talk about the player portrait?
No, we did not. Go ahead.
It kind of is just like the beta and the alpha portraits. It's just an A or a B, and this one just kind of has a 1 on it.
I reckon that has something to do with the season. So we're in season 1 now. It's like
Interesting.
We were
Or
in
it
alpha,
could be
they
a-
were in beta. Now it's season 1
Or it could be you were here on day 1.
or something.
Sort of
yeah,
commemoration.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Because it did say for playing on the launch date, this is the portrait you get.
There you
Well,
go.
and
Oh.
actually you have a full week.
Oh, okay.
In order
Oh,
to get
okay,
it.
cool.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still rocking my blue B to represent how
There you go.
my dedication.
Oh, yeah?
So what the portrait? It's free. You just have to play the game. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. Well, there you go. If you want a portrait, a fancy portrait, and you don't like any of the hero portraits, which really are kind of boring sometimes, you can get a number 1.
There you
Represent number 1.
go. Number 1.
All right. Let's talk about free week. This is a pretty exciting free week. A lot of champions that I've either liked playing or have not had the chance to play yet, so I'm a big fan of it. You want to take us down the list, Bentley?
Yes, sir. So we're gonna start off number 1 with Lily, 2 with Falstad, number 3 with ETC, 4 Tassadar, 5 Diablo, 6 Tychus, and number 7 Asmodan. So extremely balanced. 2 supports, 2 assassins, 2 warriors, 1 specialist. What do we think, guys?
I'm a fan. Asmodin, I've never played him before this week. I've already put on like 3 games as him, just in the limited time I played in the last 24 hours. And that's to compete with games I played as Johanna. So,
Yeah.
I had to make some special circumstances for that. I'm having a lot of fun playing him. I think he might be the next champion I buy. So,
He is 10K still, I believe.
yeah.
You know what? After his last free week, which was at least 4 weeks ago, at least, because he hasn't been up for free for a while. When I got him to 5, that was exactly what I said. Well, that's who I'm getting next, because he's so strong, and if the enemy team forgets about him, your whole lane is gone.
Right.
Yes.
Well, okay, so Aaron mentioned something, though. 4 weeks since we last saw Asmodin.
At least.
Where's Abathur?
He is still
It
missing.
still hasn't been. December 16th was the last time he was on free week.
They're not going to bust out Abathur the first week with all these new players.
I would have been okay with it. Just free meat to eat.
Or
during
they
the
could have
game.
at least done a level 15. And on that point, it is we are welcoming a lot of new players. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome,
There
guys.
you go.
And that's not a bad thing. We're excited about that. That builds our player base. If you're already a great player, They're all just adding to the people who are worse than you.
There you go.
So that can be your attitude.
Even more people. Go ahead, Tom.
Along the lines of new players, I thought it was interesting that they put Falstad in there to just kind of show new players that, yes, every character has a mount, but that mount might be altered, sort of like, Falstad, if you don't know, can fly across the map for his lack of a mount.
Right, because I'm trying to think of all the champions that don't have a typical mount. So we got Falstad,
Rhaegar,
Abathur, Brightwing.
Rhaegar, Abathur, Brightwing.
I know Zagara just has wings. She can't ride anything. And
but
then
it's still
Diablo.
Like
it's like Diablo's
yeah.
running.
And then Asmodan has those
spider
legs.
things.
Yep.
But the four we listed, the Abathur, Brightwing, not Asmodan,
Rhaegar.
Abathur, and Rhaegar.
Yeah.
All
Sergeant
have a unique Sergeant Hammer.
We're
too.
missing some. We know.
Yeah.
I
But
think
I just
yeah.
think that's cool that they're not always the same, and they're kind of showing new players what can happen.
There's something different. I do like that. And I'm yet to play Falstad at all. So I'm excited to check him out. Because I think
great.
outside of Rhaegar, I still haven't played a champion that has a unique mount.
Interesting.
Quote unquote. So, it'd be fun to try a different mechanic, too.
Speaking of different mechanics, I was really hoping there would be a different map dropping on June 2nd.
It didn't happen.
It didn't
No.
happen.
And we're still waiting for a Diablo-themed map.
Yeah, that's sad. That's just adding to the list of things that they're missing from Diablo.
Well,
I
it's
think you just
hard.
need to take a hint, and nobody likes Diablo.
like no
Don't
one
play
cares about
Diablo.
Diablo. Like it's sad. It's really sad.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here and just say they've been working really hard, coming out with a lot of new champs in the past month, and I think that, eventually they're going to get to more maps, but right now I think having, 6, 7 now? That's pretty good.
Well, yeah, Tommy, but I want it now.
Don't
Instant
care how I
so
want
that's
it
why
now.
you're paying them so much money.
There you Aaron's going to get in contact with Blizzard CEO soon and just be like, all right, guys, come on. It's
Get to
time.
work.
It's time. All right, so let's talk about our dream team of the Hero Week. Tommy, if you didn't know, every week we like to pick our 5 favorites from the free week just to give recommendations towards newer players of what they could build as a dream comp with 4 of their other friends.
Cool, I like it.
Yeah, so we had 3 for sure. 3 that we would want to see in every game, and that was Asmodin, Tychus, and Falstad. We felt like those were the 3 damage dealers that you want to be fielding, mostly because the other damage dealer, well, there isn't another damage dealer.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
And that they represent a good range of damage dealers on their own.
They do. Falstad is really bursty. Asmodin has great sustained damage. And Tychus is just an amazing counter to a lot of melee assassins. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. We have disagreements on both the warrior and both the support.
Yes.
Aaron said he wouldn't commit, but I knowing Aaron, he would pick Lily over Tassadar any day of the week.
Not 100% true. What I said to Billy was I would not...
99% true.
What I said was that I would not select my champion with a 100% certainty unless I had seen the other team. But I do really think that Diablo with the Tychus and an Asmodan's laser thrown in with a Lily to keep them all up, that sustained damage is insane.
Plus, Lily's just a very safe pick, Afraid you're gonna die, bring a Lily.
Yeah, Lily's probably not going to get caught unless they're terrible.
Yeah. I like that.
Which
Bring a Lily.
is a chance.
Yeah.
Well, I personally prefer ETC over Diablo here. I feel like ETC is a much stronger warrior, kit-wise and skill-wise, as you're leveling up. Diablo took a huge hit last patch. Diablo is one of my favorite champions in this game, and I've played him maybe 3-4 times since that patch hit, because it's so much harder. His early game is just so much harder now, and it almost helps the enemy team snowball faster instead of you being able to just catch up in the end.
I agree. You almost don't have a warrior for like the first quarter to half of the game just
Right.
for him to start steamrolling his health and damage.
Right. When he's really dependent on those talents that come, or skills that come after level 10 in order to do the damage. So you have to get him to level 10 first, and then after that you're fine. But getting 1 to 10 as almost a relatively weak champion, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, so compare that to ETC. ETC would probably win, but there's some disagreements with how versatile you could use Diablo in combo with Asmodan, Tychus. And if you would choose Diablo, you would probably go with Lily just because of how squishy he is and to make him,
Well,
buff,
and
more buff.
Diablo Lily certainly have good energy.
Exactly.
For the same reason that I think Tassadar and ETC have good synergy. So
Exactly. So that might be the conclusion to our argument there.
there you go. Well, and I think in the end it'll depend on what you want. If you want an early game win, ETC Tassadar. If you want a late game win, Lily Diablo.
Yeah.
And whether or not you
I'd
want
have to agree with that.
either win depends on the enemy team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And how good you are. So don't
There's
suck.
no
I
perfect
guess
team.
Yeah, exactly.
Our advice to be a better player is start as a better player.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's it.
Words of wisdom. So things we like to do whenever we bring on a guest host are let them feature a section. We love getting a new opinion, new voice in here. So what we're going to do is bring Tommy in here now. Let him talk about a build. Rhaegar, right?
Yeah,
what you're going with?
Rhaegar.
Rhaegar's so strong.
Yeah, he's the only support I play, honestly. He's very, very fun. Kinda
Earlier
brawly.
today we played a game. It was me, him, Colin, and I believe Kyle was in on the game.
Yeah.
Was it Mines? Was that it? Or no, it wasn't Mines. It was...
No, because we lost the one in
We
Mines.
lost Spy...
Oh,
no.
it was Blackheart's Bay.
Blackheart's Bay, and I saw him play Rhaegar. I was in love with it.
It was so much fun. You were running around as Joanna, stunning and slowing, and you were like 1v4 at that point. I came in and we managed to kill all of them. It was much fun.
Yeah.
And that's just the type of things you can do if you play Rhaegar and like play him consistently really well. So I guess to start off this build is actually the most conflicting talent, at least to me, because of the healing totem nerfs recently. And I believe you guys discussed them before, right?
Yeah, last week or the week before.
I think we talked about it on patch notes, but
Yeah.
we haven't actually talked about how
in-game
crazy
effect.
it's
Right.
affected everything and the build paths.
Okay, well, 10-second description. Healing totem got nerfed to now be hit by area of
AoE
effect
effects,
spells. So,
That and instead of healing 3% of your health every second for 10 seconds,
oh, that's right.
they
it's
switched it to
2%
2% for every second for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So, that being said, it did receive a very strong nerf, but I kind of thought it was a little bit OP before, so I'm going to keep using it for now. But so, the options here between Healing Totem, there's pretty much only one other option, and it's called Spirit Walker's Grace. Lowers the mana cost of his chain heal from 70 to 45. And I would pick Spirit Walker's Grace over Healing Totem pretty much whenever, like, if you have an Illidan on your team and you want to go ham with him, you want to just follow him however deep he wants to dive, that's probably the one you're going to take, because Healing Totem tends to do better when you're healing for a whole team fight. Alright, so moving on to level 4, we have Chain Reaction. Again, it's a pretty standard choice. It increases your chain heals on lightning shielded targets by 25%. Not too much, but if someone's really gonna die from the next hit, that 25% might help a lot.
And that probably synergizes pretty well.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you
And we'll get to that once the later ones come up. Alright, so moving on to number 7, we have Earth Shield, which gives Lightning Shield a shield. So, I'm not even going to talk about the names of those right there, but...
Well, just to interrupt you real quick, in case people don't know the mechanic of Lightning Shield, all it is essentially you're buffing a teammate to deal AoE damage just as he walks into place. It doesn't shield you, it doesn't return health, it doesn't do anything that a typical shield would. So Earth Shield, essentially what it does is it makes it an actual shield as well as dealing damage in the area around them.
Which, as a support player who didn't have any shields other than that, that's great. So, if you're really, really fed, you consider going Battle Momentum. Just that's the one where you use an ability and your next auto attack decreases cooldowns by 0.5 seconds. If you're really, really fed and you're having a lot of fun, maybe consider going that. But in any other case, I would go Earth Shield.
So if you're miserable and not having any fun,
Yeah. Or
Shield.
anything other than like a 3-level difference. All right, so moving on to alts. I lied about number 1. This is the one I'm most conflicted about. And that is because I love Berserker. It is so much fun Berserker is the alt that gives 40% attack speed and 30% movement speed.
Is it Berserker?
Bloodlust.
I thought
Bloodlust.
it was always
I'm
called-
so
okay.
sorry. Yeah, Bloodlust. So it gives 40% attack speed, 30% movement speed to your entire team in a localized area. It's a pretty big range. And if you have, you have that Illidan, you have a Vala, any attack speed based champion, it is so much fun to just roll through the entire team and take them out. That being said, I would take Ancestral Healing pretty much every time, just for the massive 3,000 health heal, or whatever it is.
And we've seen that used so many times, and it is the biggest pain, like the biggest slap in your face thing. If you've been trying to kill like their tank or something,
And you're so close.
and then boom, everything back, and you're just like, I'm done. You
Yeah.
can just run away. I'm just gonna go home.
It
just
really
makes you
ruins a
quit.
team fight. I guess it tells you not to focus tanks if you can't, but
There you
There
go.
you go.
sometimes you have to. All right, so moving on to level 13, we have Feral Lunge, and this upgrades his Wolf's first basic attack. It normally does 100% bonus damage on the first attack when you come out of Wolf form, and this changes it to now give, like it says, a lunge to the enemy, sort of a gap closer, and increases the damage it does even more. And if you're, someone is running away from you, very low health, you have an instantly castable mount, which is very helpful in many situations, to catch up to them and then maybe lay down a slowing totem just to slow them down so that the team can catch up and do some damage.
On the level 13, what I always take is the lightning totem, because I like to be able to have 3 totems attacking one target whenever I want
It's
to.
definitely an option. It really comes down to how you use your totems. All right, so moving on to 16, we have Lightning Bond, and this is my favorite talent in the whole bunch, because when you place your Lightning Shield on an ally, it also places one on you. And this is what we were talking about a little bit earlier, where, if you remember, the level 4 increases chain heals on Lightning Shielded targets by 25%. Having 2 of those is going to help so much in those big, long, late-game team fights where you might be healing several people from near death.
Well, not only that, but you also get the Earth Shield on
That's
yourself,
true.
too.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's great synergy with a couple of your talents, which is always fun.
Yeah, just pop it on a melee who's running around, gonna be attacking them anyway. Might as well get some extra AoE damage and a shield in there, too. And then 20, pretty standard. I usually take Storm Shield, mostly, because you don't really need the AoE heal on Ancestral Healing, in my opinion. Normally it's one person who's getting focused down.
I totally disagree.
Do you?
Rewind to me is
Oh,
irreplaceable.
Rewind is great.
Interesting.
It really depends on, okay, if it's a less than 5-on-5 game. Every once in a while it's like a sort of a laning map, and you might be with 1 or 2 people, but not necessarily the whole team. In that situation, I would go Rewind just because,
But you're right. Storm Shield is an underestimated ability.
Yeah. If you manage
I
to get
agree.
it off before someone initiates with a big wombo, like, say, Joanna now, like, it can help a lot, I think.
Okay, if you take Bloodlust, though, at level 10, do you buff Bloodlust, or do you still go with Storm Shield?
Honestly, depends how my team is playing.
Okay.
If there are people over walls that I might not hit with Bloodlust, I gotta stop doing that. If there are people that like are consistently too far for me to give the buff to, then I will take that. But normally, if I've already done it a few times, I'm gonna do my best to make sure everyone's in it.
Sure. Okay.
So
Just
with
have a
this,
little extra utility.
with this build, do you find yourself getting a lot of hero damage at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
Well, especially with Feral Lunge. Like, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's getting away from you, you can easily catch up to them. Because, like we were talking about earlier, Rhaegar has one of those special mounts. It's an instant transform into Ghost Wolf at 30% speed increase, I believe. Because most time it's 40% speed increase.
It's a little bit less than mounts.
It's a
I don't know
little
if
bit
it's
less,
that
yeah.
much lower, though.
So it's a good way to chase somebody down who's escaping, because
Yeah.
it doesn't give them time to mount up.
30%.
Is it 30%? Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, pretty good build. I like it. I have to agree with you on pretty much everything there. I know, Aaron, you play Rhaegar some. Do you like that?
Oh yeah, that's a really good damagey, high damage, good hybrid build, which you're right is pretty much safe in every situation.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's Rhaegar's purpose, too. He's a damagey support that has a heal. in my mind. You know, I feel like he's a lot like a Tyrande in that instance.
Now, don't underestimate Rhaegar as a healer, because his chain heal combined with things like rewind, if you go a full chain heal build, your team is going to live a long time.
That's true.
That's something else I should add is, this is just the build I use. I think it's a good one-size-fits-all build. You could do a more damagey build, a more healy build. You could try to buff your lightning shield or your totem as much as possible.
But if you're new and you're looking for a build, Tommy's is a pretty good one.
Yeah. So it's a good all-around build, and I don't see much reason to deviate from it ever. All right, so we were talking about synergies in the build. Let's talk about synergies in the game really quick. Let's spend about 5 minutes talking about a couple of combinations that we really, really like in this game. As 2 heroes, 3 heroes. We were talking about it earlier with the pre-made 5 that we were discussing. Bentley, if you had to pick 2 characters that synergize perfectly well together, who are your 2?
Oh boy, you're really putting me on the spot, aren't you?
I am. I didn't give you any time to think about
That's
this.
fine. That's totally fine. I'll go with what I've been seeing a lot lately. I play Vala, I would say probably 85% of the time if I can. And lately I've been choosing Reign of Vengeance over Strafe just because of how Strafe can easily be countered. And Reign of Vengeance gives you that good stun. So basically, going off that, Diablo, I've had some really good Vala Diablos. Who whenever he flips her, I stun her again, and he can even push her back more. It's just there's a lot of synergy there. Who else, man? I mean, Tyrande with her stun, and then my stun. There's just
damage
exactly
application too.
Exactly.
We saw a lot this week between Kyle, myself, and does anybody else play Kerrigan?
I don't.
Maybe once.
But you did play some games in which you really benefited from that primal grasp.
Yeah, absolutely.
That insane pull toward her.
Oh yeah,
which synergizes so well with really anyone who has a skill shot AOE.
Or a skill shot stun, specifically Muradin. I think about a lot with Kerrigan. I love that combination. Tyrande is wonderful, which we're actually going to talk about later. Because me and Kyle have recently been playing a lot of Tyrande, Kerrigan, and lane when we're in solo queue together, and it's helped us win not only lane but games because of how far ahead we can get. Since no one can survive it, Tyrande has that 25% vulnerability on top of Kerrigan's just massive amount of damage. And there's no escaping those two, I really feel. So that would be my favorite duo is Kerrigan, Tyrande. All right, let's hear yours.
I gotta be a little bit stereotypical here, but these are both of my mains, so I'm gonna say it anyway. Rhaegar, Illidan. I don't think there will ever be a better combo. Just because if they're together and there's less than 4 enemies around you, you guys won't die. You really won't if you're playing it right.
Wow,
it's very fun.
Your 2, Aaron.
Okay. I have 2 examples.
Okay.
The first one is so obvious that it barely counts at all. Nova Zeratul. When you're sitting in the same room, you don't not kill anyone.
Yeah.
You kill everyone.
Okay, that's almost
so
OP.
dirty and unfair.
Yeah, dude.
Especially to the new players this week.
Oh, they're done. They're toast. Oh, they're toast.
There's going to be a lot of Zeratul Novas running around and just wreaking havoc on these new guys.
Guys, that could be us.
All right, but
It could be us.
no, we're nice guys. We won't do that.
We're the nice guys.
We won't do that.
That's why I'm a guest.
But Tommy, to counter your point,
please
about Illidan Rhaegar, Illidan Abathur.
I agree.
They're very close. I see,
What's scarier
you're
than
more of an Abathur player, I'm more of a Rhaegar player, so we probably have a bit of bias, but I will agree with that.
You know who I'd bring to that party to counter those two? Brightwing Jaina.
Oh my.
Brightwing and freaking Abathur. 2 Brightwings to counter 2 Illadins.
We've talked about it so many times. Illidan's just an amazing assassin. I played him some on Free Week last week. I had so much fun. I hate assassins, and I had so much fun playing him. He's really good, but every time I faced a Brightwing, it would drive me up the wall.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Jaina is a great counter to Rhaegar, because Rhaegar's advantage is huge mobility while decreasing the mobility of the enemy team.
That's true.
And Jaina just kind of neutralizes that, in my eyes.
Rhaegar and Illidan, I might have to change that, because they both have problems with mages with CC.
Fair enough.
So
yeah.
Jaina, could probably pretty effectively take them if.
What about Sergeant Hammer and Abathur in a 3-lane map where Sergeant Hammer has been splitting bot the whole game, and then suddenly there's 2 Sergeant Hammers, and immediately they take down forts. I've seen that combo played before, and that's really scary.
Yeah.
Because all
That
4 can be
done, I
top
could see.
with the Locusts still top,
Yeah.
and he's controlling a second Sergeant Hammer with 25% increased damage.
Oh, really? I thought it was decreased damage.
They changed it.
Wow.
Yeah. in
That's
order
what
to
makes the Illidan combo.
Okay, well, yeah, no,
and the
there you go.
Vala
That changes
and the
everything.
Sergeant Hammer combo so strong.
Yeah.
All right, so leave us some comments, some notes. You could email us even if you wanted to on the Facebook page. If you have any other duos that you really want to, talk about. I think Aaron has another one too.
No, but
No.
let's watch us climb.
No, watch us climb.
Hey.
Our favorite segment.
Everybody's favorite segment. First of all, let's go around and talk about what rank we are. I climbed all the way down to rank 24.
Nice.
Wow.
Bentley, where are you at?
I'm almost ending the little gap between 50 and 40. I'm around 42.
Slacker. You're a
Yeah.
slacker, is what you
I
are.
mean,
So-
I've.
Is it a result of you just losing so much, or is it a result of you
You
primarily
know what it
playing
is?
quick
You know what it is? It's the lack of teammates I have to play with at the hour that I'm playing, and I can't go into a hero league by myself and really expect a good game.
Yeah, you
at
do
this
play
point.
really late at night.
Yes. So I've been playing a lot of quick match, and that's just been like scary, dude. It's scary out there right now.
It's a dangerous world.
You got some newbies and
world.
some. It's very scary.
Oh, when
It's-
school got out today, it was pretty hard to play.
Yeah.
What about you, Tommy?
I'm about where Bentley is at. About I think me and Colin got rank 40 today.
There you go.
Hey,
So I
congratulations.
just haven't been playing that much, and I plan on climbing a lot harder soon.
Do it. Yeah, you're wanting to be a part of the Podcast Heroes.
Yeah, I still got hit 40
rank
before
team.
that. Yeah, but
Yeah, we do have our own rank team. That's always fun. I'm, I think, level 25.
Wow.
25 or 26, somewhere around there. There was, a good week and a half where I just climbed from like 40 to 23. I think
Yeah.
pretty much untouched in a row. And then since then, I've pretty much stayed around 25, 23.
It does kind of seem like you jump, and then
Yeah.
kind of stagnate for a
Yeah,
while.
Well,
and then you go
yeah.
back to jumping and stuff. It's
like I was saying with
yeah.
Colin today, me and Colin, we both jumped 2 ranks, and I had never done that before up until this point. So
Yeah,
that felt
It's
pretty
fun.
nice.
it's really nice to do that, and then you hit a stagnated point, and you're like, "Oh my God, please let me climb, please let me climb some more Blizzard, please. Who do I send money to?"
Plus 72 points, minus 120.
Exactly. So I think that's something we need to figure out is how this MMR system works, because really it kind of just seems to be like one of those whose line is it anyways. It's like welcome to Hero League where the points don't matter pretty much.
Everything's
So,
made up.
everything's made up and the points don't matter. Okay, so watch us climb. We had a really good game yesterday with a completely different meta than we've ever talked about before, and I really like it. I think it kind of highlights the strengths of this game alone, because it shows that you don't have to play a standard anything in order to win, while also letting you play pretty much your strongest champions. Because I'm looking at this list, and outside of Aaron, everybody's playing the champion I would say they are the best on. And Aaron's still playing a champion that he's very good at. It's just instead of playing Brightwing, he played Uther. The rest of our team was Uther, Vala. Bentley was playing Vala, of course. We had Tyrande. I was on Tyrande. Kyle on Kerrigan, and then Colin on Jaina.
And how it happened, it's worth noting that we were in selection, we were drafting, and I was last pick, and I never play tanks, because I just never play tanks, because I've played tanks, and they know how I play tanks.
And we didn't want him to play tank.
Which is
I
not great.
used to play a bit of Diablo, if I recall.
Yeah, no, I'm not very good. But I'm good at the other roles. But it was too late. And
Yeah, we really hadn't thought about it.
yeah,
had we?
so I was either going to be playing my rockin' awesome level 5 ETC, who I do have a skin because it came with the Nexus bundle, but that does not make me good. But I opted to go for Uther, who I think I mentioned I was going to unlock last week. I just got him, but he is so cool and so fun and so strong.
And I know earlier we were talking about how most of these supports are pretty squishy, pretty much just heal bot type supports. Of course, there's multiple different elements, so I don't want anyone out there thinking that's all I think of supports. I played Tyrande a lot, but I think Uther is the exception to the rule we were saying earlier, in that he's one melee, which a lot of the supports aren't. I think Rhaegar is the only other melee support, and then he is pretty tanky for a support. And so that was our justification for picking him. Not only is he tanky, but he has a point-and-click CC.
And when you take block, I so underestimated block when I first started. I didn't think it was good at all. I thought, what a waste of a talent.
I didn't even know Uther got block.
Only noobs take it.
It's like his level 1.
Level 1 is block. I think it's always a level 1. But it's so good when you're being depended upon to be the main tank. And it actually felt right. I felt like I was able to jump in there because I took amplified healing.
Yeah.
I could survive long enough for my team to do something.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the advantages of this team comp. The team we were playing against had a pretty standard team. It was like 1 specialist, 2 assassins, a support, and a tank.
Yeah,
you have the exact number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Sylvanas, Sonya, Rhaegar, Johanna, or is it Joanna?
Was it Johanna?
Yep. And
I don't remember
and
playing
Kael'thas.
I don't remember playing against a Johanna.
Yep.
Interesting.
I proved it in my match history.
Well, hey, I believe you fully.
And it was on Cursed Hollow.
Okay, so so that was the combination there. Pretty standard. 2 warriors instead of 2 assassins, but still Sonya's a pretty more of a bruiser than she is a tank. Does a lot of damage. So what I found to be the real advantage, of course, was the synergy between Kyle and I on Tyrande Kerrigan. We easily won our lane. As I remember. I think Aaron and Bentley lane together. Uther and Vala. Of course, Vala with any support's a good combination.
Yeah.
And then Colin was solo lane Jaina, and we all did really good in our lanes.
I agree. And we had some good team fights. Jaina and Vala had we had some good synergy with her AoEs and my stun. And that's just another example of my Reign of Vengeance build. That may be coming sometime soon. Who knows?
There you go.
And I remember getting the tributes toward the later part of the game was just easy because they were so pushed back, they couldn't do anything.
Well, and even if they got to the supports, everybody on our team outside of Uther had some form of ranged attack in order to stop them. I know I was able to, whenever it was in those, half moon rock formations or whatever, I could just stand on the other side of that and use my owl or my stun in order to stop them. So it's like they'd be trying, they'd get so close, and then I just hit them. And they're like, crap, we have to start all over again. And, they keep doing that while you guys were off fighting, whoever their front line was. Eventually took down their front line, and all that was left was their squishy team. And we just made cakework of it. We had plenty of CC, which helped make up for the fact that we didn't have a tank, or a true tank. And having 2 healers, especially one of the tanks being a healer herself, it was just, I think all those elements came together, and it makes me want to go out and try it again, see if it was just a fluke.
Yeah, I mean, we really had to get the job done quick, though. We couldn't milk it because we had to, just go in there. We didn't have any punching bags, really, for them to punch on, so we had to stop them and kill them.
Yeah.
It was a fun game.
I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
I think
maybe one day we'll get Tommy in on one day.
We got to add him to the roster.
Got to add him to the roster.
If you would like to be added to the roster, email us at niceguysnetwork@gmail.com. Jump into the conversation on our YouTube, Reddit, or iTunes, or SoundCloud.
Any of the platforms. We have some.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Don't forget to go get your free Meccano Strider and buy your half-price stim pack. That's just this week, the 2nd through the 9th. Get it now, particularly the free Meccano Strider, because why wouldn't you?
I can't get over that stim pack personally. I thought that was great.
Or at very least, log in, try the game, and get your portrait.
There you go.
That's it for episode 6. Thanks for listening to Podcast Heroes. where we podcast about heroes.